días a todos. Mi presentación es un poco.
Well, good morning to you all. Welcome, and I'm going to present the way we see the aspect, the way we see the evolution of general services in the case of the distribution chain. We have here a group. It is a group where we have a portfolio of different centers. The evolution of our business model, the specificities of Supersol Spain, the way we had evolved, the way we deal with procurement and general services within Supersol Spain, targeting aspects like facility management, and that's a core subject. And thanks to congresses like this, we try to enhance facility management. We're going to talk about general services, about our competences, about our areas. We're going to describe our strategic priorities, our methodologies, the way we purchase, some practical cases within our sector, because we become consultants within our companies with projects in order to optimize results and to reduce costs. Let's start now with our specificities. Within our group, we started back in the 80s, so with mergers and acquisitions of small companies. The group, a whole, purchased Super Depot and companies based in Coronado, Canary Islands. You all remember the old logos, and at that time we started creating a group. This area, this domain, trying to centralize very many different groups. They had their own purchasing activities, but the situation changed in 2004 when Permira Risk Capital Group from the UK purchased the supermarkets they hold, and now it is a risk capital management group and financial entities that are the owners of our group. And then we started also purchasing cash and carry, and in 2012 we were purchased by Maxima Group, a group from the Baltic countries, 12.9 million euros, 30,000 employees, and they came to a group, and now the board of directors is staff from Latvia, and they are experts in the distribution activities. We have Supersol Spain and Cash Depot, 490 million euros, 4,300 employees. As I said, we belong to this group from the Baltic countries, from Latvia. We have here 172 million euros within Cash Depot, but general services, well, they comprise the same approaches internally. We have to be able to give services, support, to purchase in such a way that all of the group members will be able to sell properly. Here we have our activities under my leadership. I told you that in general services, mainly the most general aspect, sometimes, and it happens in my company, perhaps in your companies also, whenever you have a question mark, you don't know who's in charge of what, it belongs to general services because it is decentralized. Well, in my case, it is up to general services. We take care of power supply, water supply, cleaning and waste management. We have areas, other companies, for instance, controlling aspects to play by the rules. Well, that's it. But in our case, this is a big problem, cleaning and managing wastes, because we have food, because we have rats, because we have to get rid of that, and it is very important here. In our case, in our company, in our group, we have scattered services regarding waste management. But here our specificity is that organic waste that, well, we have here like butcheries, we have food, we cannot get rid of that regularly with waste disposal. And so now we have specific operations. It belongs to logistics, to general services, and we have a project optimizing services and reducing costs. Perhaps you have here other aspects like mailing activities, cell phones, cooperative travel activities. We have the fleet and fuel management. Well, and in our sector also, we have centralized everything within this domain of general services to negotiate and to offer an optimized service. We have here, and I have put here differently, the not for resale consumables and industrial activities that we have to, like consumables. We purchase everything that we don't sell, like for instance the plastic bags. When you for instance, consider here stationery also is important, and industrial things that ought to be purchased for the proper functioning of the sales point. We are the division where we have all sorts of services and procurement, and we have to become very, very strong. This is what I want to learn, learning from facility management skills, and that is a great asset for improving the company management and results. If we were like autonomous departments, if I were able to manage this in a standalone mode, it would seem very simple. You negotiate per area. But no, it is not that case. We need to be in touch with all the departments, all the divisions, and it is not only getting in touch with them. The positive result of our projects will depend on us. We are like consultants in our company, in our group, Supersol Spain. Well, we manage areas, we have projects to optimize the area, to reduce costs, and to improve the service offered to the client, and even reducing costs, deleting things that were not necessary. We are in touch with all the divisions, all the departments of the company, and without this teamwork wouldn't be possible to achieve reducing costs and optimizing services. Our strategic priorities are obvious. We have a process everywhere. We would like to centralize our suppliers and our purchasing activities, our procurement. In general, we had small centers scattered. Even consumables, even stationery were bought in a separate mode. And we're talking about plastic bags, paper bags, things that with the fine-tuning will allow us to save a lot of money. Unification of volumes. If you buy more, you will get a better price. That's it. We're not reinventing the wheel. What is important here is to say that we're simplifying the spokesperson and with whom we have to talk. The areas that in our country till now were not consolidated. I have been here trying to make things easy for internal clients, for our employees, and facilitating things even for those from whom we purchase things, negotiating properly. We are negotiating all day long with our suppliers and internally because of the secrets I've mentioned. Within Supersol Spain, we got adapted per area. which types of negotiations we conduct. It is different to have, for instance, a call for tender when we have whatever device for just moving our things and we have renting activities there. It is different from buying plastic bags or different things. We revise everything to see if what we have is updated, it is the latest possibility with benchmarking and with technical improvement. We try always to make things better, less expensive, and we revise the needs. We analyze, for instance, providers who are given the go-ahead. They are certified providers with whom we work. They help us to improve our daily activities, and we have strong areas for general services and facility management, and that's very important. They play a very important role. Another important thing, a third leg, after centralization and negotiation, we have control. Control is expensive, but control saves money. Controlling does not mean only revising invoices and finding mistakes. No, there are not so many invoices with mistakes. A control means controlling since the moment we have a work order and approving our fund allocation, whatever, buying, whatever, how to know the inventory to have, for instance, a work that's previously tuned properly. We were talking once about centralizing stationery and things we purchase. We've had done this, and we consider the needs at the different divisions, and then we're able to sort of know exactly what ought to be purchased, how should it be purchased, and with flexibility. If you have to do something that takes 10 days, that wouldn't make any sense. We control all work orders, that all work orders go through our group, our invoicing supervision, but we're extremely flexible. We give all the possibilities to the employee not to have problems. The internal client should be satisfied with what we do, because in general, at the beginning, they might not feel they're satisfied. At the beginning, they did whatever they wanted to do, and then now we have a strong, strict control. We have to control costs, we have to control processes, and the internal client should keep satisfied, be satisfied, and be motivated. So we have to imply the general management. Whenever we save costs and we imply new policies, at the beginning people say, yes, great, but managers, board of directors want to play by the rules. So it is important to have policies and methods, internal policies and methods to optimize and save costs, adapting everything per business area. When you optimize things, you cannot drive mad the user of a service saying, I have lots of little boxes with dates, and to purchase a ball pen, it's a nightmare. No, that couldn't happen. And here I have the word services. We are service areas. This is very important. We optimize processes, we save money, we reduce costs, but we have to give a service to the client, to our internal client, to our client, and not only people at the office. Okay, I keep them happy. No, we have 195 sales points, and when the client leaves our market, this is the moment when we make money, because we do not sell top technology, we sell food. And you have to consider that the one that's selling fish, the one that's selling meat, the one that's whatever, selling whatsoever. And clients should be satisfied. I don't know, we have 5 more minutes? Okay, thank you. I would like to present two case studies, two practical cases that are typical examples, two projects, prototypes of what I had mentioned within Supersol supermarkets. We have here, it is not that you do what you can, you have here. No, it is like when you have a home delivery here. We had 197 sales points with 10 local suppliers that were decentralized, that had been negotiated many years ago with people that approved things that were approved before, and they gave the go-ahead without knowing. And the people, for instance, they said we had 21 million euros at that time as sales delivered at the home of the client. But we wanted to see the possibilities, to see if we wanted to subcontract, to externalize the services. And we said, yes, we need to externalize the services. But in our country, for the first time, we decided to go to each one of the sales point to see the type of services when were delivered those goods, and we had people who were just 12 hours waiting for one service, and the person was delighted to be there, stand alone, waiting there for 12 hours to deliver one packet, one service. So we gathered, we analyzed, we established new distribution, new means to know how to optimize accordingly the service according to the workload. We needed information technology coordination because it was necessary to know what we had, what requests were, and also legal support because we had to cancel contracts with many local suppliers to get new suppliers, new providers, and it was done step by step. Internally and externally, we had a lot of communication efforts, and within a year, with 6% less of sales. That does not mean that we had lost money, no. We considered that 80% kept on purchasing the way it was done, but simply now they went to our sales points. They didn't want to the goods to be delivered at home. So it was 68% savings of annual costs with an investment that was 20%. And we see that we made lots of profits for the company. And we had here internalized, and that is very important, facility management efforts for cleaning staff. And that is very important. We had different systems, and we had external suppliers. We had machines that were not ours. We had other cases where we had our own devices. The cost was huge, and we wanted to analyze this. There was a very important project. We had the participation of financing people, logistic experts, operational experts, and we realized that it was optimal to internalize our cleaning activities. We had invested in some machines, so this is why there is this important part that we control, which is how to repair the devices, cleaning stuff, because we have people there just specialized in repairing devices. And as I said, we repaired, and now we are saving 68% of annual costs. We were talking about 2 million euros invested in the case of cleaning activities, and now we're saving 68%. We have people, we have to analyze what the competitors are doing in order to do even better than they do, to optimize, to save costs, to give better services. And in our company, we move on towards facility management approaches. That is fundamental. I have mentioned this. I have only 1 minute left. This is what we've done, internalizing cleaning activities. But from our group, we gave them all sorts of training, and we had plans, working activity plans, and all the sales points. When they started doing this internally, they knew how to do it. They had all the means, all the necessary devices. And that's what I wanted to say. So we had improved services and we had saved money.